Okay, folks, we had a little delay while I was saving my file for the screen share. Now that we've gone through that sample paper, I just want to look ahead and see if some of what we've got coming up in some of our remaining modules. And I will be turning in midterm grades at the conclusion of this module, which is Wednesday, as you know. And I don't know if I got this on the recording. If you've not gotten a grade yet on Writing Project 1, please be patient. I am working through those. I usually give them 1 or 2 reads before I enter the grade. So if you've gotten your grade, good. If you haven't, just sit tight with me. I'm going to get those in very soon. So this is what the course looks like on my side of things. It's not too much different than yours. These are just some of the resources I use to help set up the class. That's the full list of all the articles you could have chosen from. I didn't pick them all because that's just too many, and I didn't want to overwhelm anybody. That's what the green check mark means, is that's one you can use. This one, I didn't like it so much, so I didn't pick it. So Module 1, Module 2, Module 3. This is Module 4. What I want to do is take a look at next week. Tutor.com. This is always very popular with students because what Tutor.com is you can write a draft of a paper, send it off. It doesn't cost anything. Someone else will read it and make suggestions for you about how you can make it better. And we don't want to give you that right away in the beginning of the class because I'd like for you to start to develop your own particular style. I understand that the coursework in our time together starts off, I won't say easy, but it kind of does build up towards the argumentative paper at the end of the class. And if we gave you Tutor.com right at the front, well, you wouldn't have the opportunity to make a few mistakes and learn from them. But this is always very, very popular. And again, it doesn't cost anything. So someone else, somewhere, I have no idea where, is going to give your paper a read and send it back to you and say, fix these things. Here's what you need. So at the end of this week, and again, that's Wednesday, you're turning in a half draft of Writing Project 2. So next week, you will be finishing up Writing Project 2. And unlike the first one, where you're simply reading and responding, this time we're going to be doing a comparative analysis. If you haven't started on this project already, what you're going to do is build off of your first version, where you said, here's what this person said, and here's what I think about it. Now we're going to go out and find another source, again from the same readings, of somebody that has a different perspective about the same idea. Now this doesn't sound too bad because all of the articles that we can choose from are all written on the same subject, food and its impact on society. So it shouldn't be too hard. My suggestion for you, much like the first time when you picked your original article, is open one up, pick one at random, doesn't matter, you can go in order, doesn't matter. Read the first, half paragraph. If you like where it's going, keep reading. If you don't think this really fits with what you're trying to do, go on to the next one. And just keep skimming through these articles. I don't expect you to read all of them, that's asking too much, until you find one that kind of speaks to the idea that you're formulating in the back of your mind. Another module on They Say, I Say. We do these all the time. And again, it's over Chapter 8. There's our handbook on developing paragraphs. I hope you watch the first section of this where I discussed how to format a paper in MLA. Here are the instructions. Let's open this up and take a look. So as you can see, this is an overview, comparing and analyzing key similarities and differences between two readings. How are they the same? How are they different? You may find a second source that is absolutely the same as yours, and that's fine. You may find one that is completely contradictory with what the first person said. That's even more fun. It's always fun to figure out how two writers are getting into an academic argument about the same subject. And again, analyze and compare. to the theme readings. Half draft, 450 to 600 words. If you're wondering, that should be about 2 pages. And a minimum of 1,000 words for the final draft. Again, we're going to about 3.5. And this is always worth emphasizing. 12 point times New Roman font. This also does MLA style as is specified by your instructor. We're only using APA. So here are the elements. 2 very different texts that contain similarities. 2 similar texts that contain differences. They could vary considerably in quality. One of them is maybe not so well put together, and you can poke holes in that. Maybe one of them is very polished and the other one isn't. That's always fun. So here's the arrangement. And this is what I talked about in my first recording for this Zoom meeting. A hook, something that engages the reader, pulls that person in and said, this is why you should care about this. Again, a little background information after you include the hook, and then your thesis statement. I intend to argue that these 2 writers have very different ideas on exactly the same subject, or these 2 writers are completely in agreement on the same subject. Try to find those differences, though. And then in the body of it, you should compare and analyze 2 readings, a topic sentence that identifies the point of comparison that will be analyzed, evidence, and this is key because you should be using a lot of quotes. If you're comparing and contrasting 2 different essays on the same subject by 2 completely different people, I should be reading a whole lot of quotes. How are they different? How are they the same? And use quotes to support that. And end with a concluding sentence that ties the point of comparison to the overall thesis. That's kind of a given. Again, we're only using APA. The half draft was due in Module 4, and again, those will be graded and returned to you. And then we'll be turning in the final draft in Module 5. So if this coming Wednesday is April 20th, the final version will be due Wednesday, April 27th at 11:59 p.m. And again, 450 to 600 words for the half draft, 1,000 for the final. So going back to our meeting here, I still don't think I have any participants. Again, I know this wasn't mandatory, so if no one comes in, that's fine. That's why I thought I'd put out some of these general ideas to help move you along. So I'm going to give it a few minutes, see if anybody else jumps on. We're on the downside of our meeting time together. If you do have the opportunity to watch this later, let me know. Just be interested. And since we've got a little bit of downtime right now because of the lack of participants, I'm going to pause the recording and I will pick it back up here in just a short while. Hey folks, it's Mark. I'm back. I had some dead air there, so I elected not to record because there was nothing going on and we don't want to tie up that much bandwidth and waste some valuable resources. So I'm going to wrap this thing up. Did not have any participants, but I hope everyone will have a chance to review the video clips that I will post in an announcement. If you have any comments or questions about the material that I covered, please reach out to me, or if you just want to tell me you actually watched it, that'd be fine too. Again, this isn't mandatory, but it is interesting to me to see how much we might be reaching out to people using this format. Apologize to one and all that I am a rookie when it comes to Teams meetings, or excuse me, Zoom meetings. Teams is what I know best. So I probably could have done this a little more smoothly, but I'm still learning. So hope everybody has a great week. Again, if you haven't gotten the grades on the final draft of Writing Project 1, Look for that soon. It's coming out, and I'll be getting through those quickly. So I hope everybody has a great day, great evening, wherever you may be, and stay safe out there. Thanks, everybody.